Welcome to the Labor of Love Canning Club with Tori, where we live local with a global outreach. Together, we foster fellowship, grow in the Word of God, and restore time-honored skills that strengthen food security and cultivate healthy legacies. One jar, one family, one can at a time. Now, let's get canning. Okay, so welcome to the Labor of Love Canning Club. And so you may not see all of me during this whole demonstration, but you will see all of this. And as I said before, my kitchen, as you can see, is lived in. No pretenses. I just don't have the time in my life to do a whole bunch of cleaning to make it look all jazzy. So hopefully it is not too distracting for you. But we're back to our canning. Let's get right to the gist of why we are here. We have been working on the Fire Cider, okay? And so today is the great reveal. We're gonna see whether or not we got a plum mess or we got a winner. Now, we can't necessarily gauge that by the taste because this is gonna be some pungent stuff. I mean, we're talking about a lot of vegetables and herbs and roots that have been absorbing and becoming one, if you will, in this infusion of apple cider vinegar. So you can just imagine that the taste is probably not gonna be ideal, but I have been looking up some recipes. So if you are super excited about supercharging your health, tired of kitchen cold, want to get rid of whatever it is you already have, then you're going to want to listen to all of this. Okay, with that being stated, we're going to go dive right in. So what I'm going to do, I have a strainer. You can see it's a thin mesh strainer, which is what you're going to want. And I'm going to give that a little bit of a you know, get the dust that might be on it, because we don't want transfer in our, you know, our food being our medicine. You know what I mean? We want our food to be able to be exactly what it's called to be, and we don't need dust collecting on our food. So as for this, I use this so often that it doesn't have a chance to collect dust. So here we go. So as you can see, we're gonna put this right in here. This is the container I'm going to put my finished product in. And I have to admit, I think I'm just going to discard the huge chunks of this simply because I haven't figured out what to do with it yet, to be honest with you. And I'm just not sure it'd be safe after, I don't know, absorbing all this liquid. I'm not sure vinegar has the same benefits as honey in that regard, but I don't want to take those chances. So I think that the smarter choice would be just to dump it and reuse our jars. So that's the beauty of canning jars. You don't have to keep buying jars once you get the amount of jars you need for, you know, whatever you're going to do. So we are a little shy of 6 weeks in this process, okay? The 20th, December 20th would have been 6 weeks. But I know people who have colds and flus, and I'm eager, or at least have some sort of sicknesses. I'm eager to jumpstart this, not just for my own personal health, but also so that hopefully it can be a blessing to them. Okay, so we're going to deal with that a little bit later. Alrighty. So, and these little jars come in handy. I had pre-washed it, even though it came clean. I'm still going to make sure. It comes with one of these, which is also another little strainer. So I'm going to use that, take advantage of having that, just to catch any itty bitty things that may be inside of my juice. Any itty bitty things. So there you have it. This is what I got out of my half gallon. Now we're going to see if perhaps there is some more of this that we can get now that it's had a chance to settle a little bit. And if you're not getting my newsletter, get my newsletter so you can find out what all is in this. Or at least definitely get on my, because probably everything that's in this is not on my newsletter, because I did a second one for the sake of showing others how to do this. And that is what you're going to look at. But this was my first one before and it's chock full of stuff. I mean, I just tried to put everything I could think of in here and everything I had on hand. So we got pomegranates, we got grapefruit, organic, we've got turmeric, we've got horseradish, onion, garlic, jalapeno peppers, cinnamon sticks, ginger. I think I called just about everything I have in there. But yeah, it's filled to the brim. I'm kind of eager to find out how my other one's going to turn out, because I did put some different things in there, but I did not put as much. So I feel like it should have more liquid, because I know most of what's in here took up a lot of that space. So you couldn't get quite as much liquid doing it that way. Oh, we're going to try to... And I want to see if I can squeeze this down, because I feel like if I can squeeze this down, I might be able to get some more liquid. Because ideally, I would like to fill up this container if I could. So we're going to see. Let me go ahead and get this out right here. Okay, so we did get a little bit more. It's worth that extra dish. Okay, and so let me describe the odor. I'm sure a lot of you wondering what in the world could this smell like with all this stuff in it and apple cider vinegar. Well, I mean, it smells pleasant. It smells pungent, so it does smell strong. But I can see how in little doses, which is how you take this, by the way, you only want to take like a tablespoon a day unless you are down. Unless you're dealing with something, then you may want to take it 2 or 3 times a day. But if you're not dealing with anything, you know, once a day is about what you need. I will share my own little. Now is the time to also add your honey to it, because there's nothing to sweeten this. This is all fermented, powdery stuff. So there's nothing to make this to take away that sting. So, and it's not recommended that you take it, you know, like you would any other kind of medicine, just guzzle it down. Because if you're dealing with something like acid reflux, which they tell you, you know, you will find online where it says that you probably should not use this if you have acid reflux. But there are ways that you could, and I'm not a doctor, so let me say this. Well, actually, I am a doctor. I'm a naturopathic doctor, but I'm not your doctor. And so I would recommend that you always consult your doctor, because again, what could be the cure for me could be poison for you, correct? So always do your due diligence, but also use your common sense. Like, in other words, if something is highly acidic, and that's the reason why they're saying you should not use something, do your own research, because just like there are ways to bring the pH down, you know, by things that you're eating and drinking, I believe that there is certainly a way that you can probably take this and consume this where it won't be harmful. But I do believe it will take research, and it will process some trial and error, in which you would have to be willing to be your own test subject to determine that trial and error. But what I can tell you is that if you can eat the ingredients in this separately, including the apple cider vinegar, then it's worth a try. If you are allergic, obviously you should not use anything in the concoction that you're allergic to. And if you're allergic to apple cider vinegar, you should certainly not do this at all. So again, I just say use common sense. Everything is not for everyone. So, but if this should work for you, which this again is my first time even trying this. Like, I'm not one of those people who have used apple cider vinegar for a lot of things, I do know it's very helpful for people who have problems with blood pressure. And, it has some other benefits to it. But the purpose behind why we're using it in this particular concoction is because of its ability to make all of the other ingredients you place in here more bioavailable to the body. And I understand this on a level. When I was on a vegetarian diet, and I'll just share the story real quickly. One of the things I had to be concerned with is because my iron tends to be on the lower end anyway. So I needed to make sure I was getting as much iron as possible out of my diet. Iron pills, supplements always constipated me, and so I tried to stay away from it. So one of the things that in research I discovered was that you can unlock the iron in vegetables, but it requires you eating it in combination with something that's high in vitamin C, because the vitamin C will help your body to absorb the iron that's in the vegetable. So it makes it more available to your body, hence bio, because we are biological beings, available to you, to your biography, to you, right? So, again, that's why I say, do your own research. I am one who firmly believe on informed consent. I'm one who believe in you need to be the first person trying to figure out what's wrong with you. In other words, don't just rely on me or any other individual, I don't care what kind of coat they're wearing, to be your only source of knowledge as it relates to yourself, because they're not going to know everything. That's why this is called a practice. They didn't study you when they were in school, okay? They study principles that should have a wide variety of benefit to the mass population, but there's always going to be exceptions to the rule. And one way for you not to be caught up in something that could be harmful to you is for you to be aware of your body, how it works, how you respond to different things. One of the things that I love about what I do is that I'm working with things that you have to work with anyway. It's food. It's things that you have to eat anyway. And so if you have nut allergies already. So you already know anything that I'm doing that you have a nut allergy, you don't need to do it. If you have milk or dairy allergies, you already know this. So these are things you already know about yourself. No doctor, nobody else has to tell you these things, right? And some of you maybe have some problems, don't know that you have an allergy. So get an allergy test. But my point is simply this. If the ingredients in anything I am recommending or I'm suggesting to you is something that you have a sensitivity to, then you need to remove it. If it's something that's the requirement of what you're doing, such as apple cider vinegar, then you just don't need to do it. It's that simple. Now, we're going to deal with how to make something with this, because I am eager to try my concoction. Okay, so we are back and we're ready to get started. So here's what I decided to do with my first taste, my first try. And one of the things I wanted to also show you, after I say this, is tea, green tea. So I'm going to try some of my concoction in a green tea. And I am going to put the camera up just a bit so that you can see my face, because one thing I want you to know about me is that my face cannot lie. Okay, so my mouth might say, oh, it's okay, but my face will tell you, yeah, this is not all that great. So if you want to make sure that my face is, matching the experience that I'm actually having, which again, like I said, I'm gonna tell you right now, when it comes to health, I can care far less about the taste. I want it to taste good because it's just easier to do things when they taste good, but I'm not one of those people who it has to taste good. So let me tell you something about this honey. Don't let this teddy bear fool you. I have a local source of raw honey. Well, semi-local, about 45 minutes from where I live, but it's local enough, right? Those bees might be able to travel that far. Anyway, but they do raw honey, okay? And so this is very important to know the source of your food. I'm always telling you that the source matters. So you want to know the source of your honey. So the source of this honey comes from a farm that grows muscadines. Some places call them scuffing irons, but muscadines are sweet, super sweet. They're like grapes, and they're super delicious. But also, that's going to impact the sweetness of your honey, which means these are quite sweet. This is very sweet honey. I'm going to put some in while it's hot, because the thing that you must know about honey is that honey, it disperses better when it's in a warm environment. So when you apply it to something without heat, then it doesn't disperse quite as well. It will usually just collect at the bottom of your container, which means it's doing you absolutely no good. And so we want the honey to be fully immersed in our concoction, right? So I'm going to let the tea seep just a little bit. Green tea, you don't have to usually seep it. Yeah, 3 minutes. One of the things I love about it. So we were at 17, let's say 17:30. So 20:30. We should be ready to try this. Okay. So we're going to just put a paper towel on top of that. And then while we're waiting for that to steep, what we're going to do is I have my Pyrex shot glass, measuring glass, and we're going to put 1 tablespoon of my concoction in here. Now, one of the things they tell you can do to get this in your body is to also make things like salad dressing. And salad dressing is a great way to do it, especially if you want to share the wealth of health with your family, because, you know, obviously you're not going to be the only one using the salad dressing. My only thing is now we're not going to have quite the same dosage, because clearly if you're making salad dressing, even though you're using 1 tablespoon of it, you're using it in combination with other things. And then on top of that, you're not the only one using it. So we can't really for sure know how much of this we are getting, which is why I prefer to really focus more on something like the tea. Because at least with the tea, you will be able to have some idea of how much you are getting, and that you're getting the amount that your body will need in order to fight anything that might be in the element. So again, also special note, and in my research, this should last you a year. So that is phenomenal, because if, you know, of course, if you have enough to last for a year, it should last you a year, which is great news, because now people are getting sick all the time. You know, you want something that's gonna last a while. And plus it takes a while to make this, and it takes a lot of ingredients. I will clock that the cost, and it's gonna be different depending on where you are, what you have available to you, but the cost of just making this concoction was at least $30. I believe it was more than that. So if I'm gonna make a concoction that's gonna, first of all, cost me $30, it could of course go up because we know the price of food's gone up. Knowing that it's gonna be serving me for 365 days, it makes it well worth it. So if this is the health in a bottle that I need to jumpstart my immune system, then it's, hey, you can spend that much just going, in fact, you can spend more than that, just going to the hospital, going to urgent care, from the tests that they're going to run to find out what you got, to, you know, whatever kind of injections they're going to give you, and anything else that they're going to prescribe to you to help you get over whatever. Okay, so now we are at the moment able to find out whether or not we're going to need some more. But now we're going to need some more honey. That's what we got at the moment. But we are able to, at least our tea has seeped enough. And for those of you who don't know, tea bags have other many uses. So if you are one who's looking to maximize what you can use your stuff for, know that I've made a nice, very great smelling hair leave-in conditioner using green tea. Not the green tea bags, but there are things you can do with the green tea bags as well. You know, put them over your eyes. And there's many ways that we can get the rich benefits of what God has provided us in nature. You know, so we're not taking advantage of it, then we are only depriving ourselves. So I'm going to do this is my tablespoon. Before I put it here, I'm going to do a pre-sampling of my tea to make sure it's sweetened to my desired amount, and see if after I put this concoction in, I have to put some more. Okay, so yes, I want some more just in this. So I can't give you measurements because you have to sweeten to taste. And my taste and your taste may not be the same. It may take more or less. But what you do want to make sure of is that whenever you put it in, that you're putting it in when it's hot. Okay, so what I would say about this is it's sweetened. If I was just drinking this as a tea for its benefits, this would be sweet enough. I believe, however, that if I'm going to be adding this to it, I'm probably going to want some more. but we will see. Shall we drink? Oh, this is the moment of truth. This is the moment that you've been waiting for. Oh, I forgot to put lemon in there. Actually, this is very good. I don't really taste the spice. It's not spicy. It tastes more lemony than anything else. I think the smell bothers me more than the taste. Like the taste is a lot milder than I thought it would be. Could I use some more honey? I probably could. I don't have to have more honey. And let me make that clear. I don't have to have more honey in the state it is currently at. But I do want more honey. So I will be honest about that. And I guess because the lemon kind of helps make it smell, it makes it taste more refreshing. I don't, yeah, I think the lemon makes it taste more refreshing. Oh yeah, now it's perfect. So, okay, so now let me go over with you what is stated about this liquid. One of the things is there's a controversy online. There's a battle over whether or not you should refrigerate it or not, or whether or not you have to refrigerate it or not. And some say you don't, some say you do. Here is my analysis of the situation. If it takes you $40 to make this, and you want this to last you a year, if it's not going to hurt it to refrigerate it, if it's, you know, if it possibly can keep the bioavailability of the nutrients that's in it as it's refrigerated, if you have space in your refrigerator, I think it's worth making space for it. Because if you think about it, $40, let's say we clocking at $40, $40, that's, so we got, so yeah, technically that's like 6, and if we add the tax, that's 7. That's 7 64-ounce bottles of bottles. No, actually no, because it's about I don't know where you live, but it's about $4.98 for a 64-ounce bottle of 100% juice if it's non-GMO, which is all about. You're looking at about $6.88 for a gallon, right? So if we're talking about price, so if it's $7, this would be the equivalent of basically 6 128-ounce bottles of non-GMO white grape juice. So how quickly would you want, if you had opened every last one of those bottles and now you have to refrigerate it, how quickly would you want that to start going bad on you, right? And we're talking about juice that's not made to last long. You know, the expiration date is far less than a year. So what I'm saying to you is, my perspective on this is, why take a risk, right? Yeah, it might be fine a year from now with you leaving your concoction out, but it might not. You know, leaving in a dark place, cool place, well, you can just forget about it until you get sick, which I would recommend. I would recommend actually taking this regularly as is prescribed. But why take the risk? I mean, when you can just put this in the refrigerator. Just put this in the refrigerator and you're done. I mean, to me, it's a no-brainer. I'm not going to take the chance on, you know, finding out, you know, this is if you want to take a $40 test. Oh yeah, turmeric is also on this, which was $7, by the way, just by itself. Okay. So, and horseradish. So if you want to take a chance on having to dump out your very expensive concoction, I mean, then by all means, leave it somewhere in a cool, dark place and forget about it. I mean, I get that vinegar, we don't refrigerate it. We don't have to refrigerate it. So it makes sense that it's in the vinegar. It's now a part of the vinegar. Vinegar, we don't refrigerate. But all of the stuff that we put in this to make it bioavailable in the vinegar it does have to be refrigerated. It does have a very quick shelf life in which it will spoil. If it's real food, if it's real food, it's going to spoil. So why take the risk? I mean, this is my perspective on the whole thing is, if I don't have to take the risk, I'm not going to take it. Especially when the investment was $40. And not just the financial investment. This is a treasure and time investment, because now you're also talking about, do you want to go through another 6 weeks of taking your jar and shaking it and moving it? I don't really think you do. I know I wouldn't want to. So, my recommendation is put it in your refrigerator. What do you have to lose? Because you have a lot to lose by not refrigerating it and it goes bad. You have nothing but a little bit of real estate on one of your shelves in the refrigerator to lose if it will last you a whole year. And oh, by the way, make sure the very last thing I will do is label this. Because what you don't want to happen is someone to open it, think it's just, a smoothie. Not that you can think this is a smoothie. Or think that it's something that's spoiled or whatever, because you're not the only one on your refrigerator. You want to make sure that you have a label. And also so that you don't forget what it is. Because there are things that I have forgotten what it is. It's just sitting in the refrigerator. Like, oh, what was that? So to avoid all of that, even though it's a small thing, it's a very important thing. Label your cider. Y'all, this is very pleasant. Seriously. It's not in my mind when I thought about the amount of things that was in here, especially the garlic and the horseradish. I did not imagine. And even as I was, I would occasionally take the top off to sniff this. I was thinking, oh, this is going to be horrible because it's very pungent. You can still smell it. Like I said, the smell to me is more of a problem than the taste. The taste is actually quite pleasant, very refreshing. When I think of everything that's in it, for it not to have the taste of that, I'm telling you, listen. And when you take this, you do want to take this in something. Like, you don't want to just take a shot glass, a tablespoon, and chunk it down your throat. I would not recommend that. I don't know what this tastes like without being diluted, but I can see, just based on, like I said, the smell being what it is, I can see where if I was to just chunk this down without any honey, no sweetener, just saying, hey, I'm just going to take this because it's medicine. And listen, God don't want us to live that way. I mean, I'm a firm believer that he said he gives us all things richly to enjoy, and that he doesn't want us having to just grit our teeth and take it. That's modern medicine. But listen to me, y'all, that is not our God. So take it for what it is. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and thank you for tuning in to Labor of Love Canning Club. Please be sure to check out any of the things that we recommend. And if you're going to buy things to make this anyway, and if you're going to buy things like containers or, whatever it is you got to get. If you decide to can, if you're going to buy a canner, I encourage you to support what we are doing here at Labor of Love, and because it's supporting yourself. I mean, the more I'm able to bring to you and able to do that comfortably, because I can be doing this without sharing any of it. It's a lot easier. No editing involved. I can get a whole lot more done. But I'm bringing this to you because I care about you. I care about the food security of the people of our nation. And God doesn't want anyone to be taken unawares. He sends prophets, he sends words, he sends dreams to people. And this is what Joseph had to deal with. He was able to share the interpretation of Pharaoh's dream, and it saved so many people, the then known world, because he was able to prepare. But he had to know there was something to prepare for. And most of us don't even realize that. And so I am trying to change the trajectory of the health, as well as redefining what true wealth is. Because when the markets crash, when everything goes down, true wealth is going to be found in what's in your cupboard. This is what the widow woman understood, because she had oil in her cupboard. She was able to make it through the famine. So I'm saying that to say to you that this is not the time to bury your head in the sand. This is the time to take action. And I am here to help you take action. So if what I am doing is helping you, join the Labor of Love Canning Club. It's absolutely free, and the goal is for it to stay that way. So one of the ways that's able to be done is support my Amazon store by purchasing your items. It's going to be the same price no matter what, whether you got it from my store or you just went to Amazon.com yourself. But your money will have a much bigger impact if you purchase through my store. So, with that stated, be sure to do exactly that. Check out my website, millhouse.online is the sponsor of Labor of Love Canning Club. That is also my website, and there you will also find a lot of very important health information, and you will also find my store, things you can buy. Also, treeoflifeonline.com. As I said before, I am a BND. That's a biblical naturopathic doctor. And what you will find there are services as well as products that you can get. All of it is going to be good products. I'm very sensitive about what I will promote, especially for anything that's going to have health benefits to you. So please feel free to go and check that out and see if I can be of service to you in other ways. Anyway, thank you for joining me in this journey, and shalom.